Starmer, in my view, has got no morality whatever. Starmer is a man without any serious moral value. Let's
Totally.
get this right. His entire career is a lie. He lied to the Labour Party, he lied to his MPs, he lied to the nation, and he continues to lie. He finds it difficult opening his mouth without uttering a lie. That simply seems to me now to be absolutely demonstrated to be the case. Everybody now knows what's going on. Only a fool doesn't know. You know it's rotten. You know it's corrupt. But you know what? They're also stupid. I mean, there's one of the things that's really important to understand is, again, as with the Soviet Union, yes, there were tiny centers of intelligence. There was the KGB, the secret police, people like Putin, who actually had a brain. But overwhelmingly, the system is stupid. The system is simply thick. Starmer himself is thick, and you can see it when he gets 2 Bs and a C at A level at a highly selective school. His 2 Bs are in music and mathematics. They're subjects which anybody who can do them does without even getting up in the morning and going into the exam room. You can just do them. So they're basically thick. And what one's got to understand then is we've got to be clever. One's got to tease these rules. One's got to mock. This is one of the reasons, actually, that I'm very much looking forward to seeing Kemi Badenoch confronting
Yes.
Starmer in the House of Commons. I mean, I
I'm
have
looking
mixed
forward to
feelings
that.
about her.
No,
But
I do want to talk in more detail about the Tory leadership contest, but can I just pick you up on something
okay,
first,
no,
though,
but
David?
I'm just saying she's a rule. Or let me just
Yeah,
quickly make that point first,
please.
and then we don't forget it. She's a rule breaker. And she's somebody who's got a sense of humor. She's got a sense of wit. What is striking about our new masters, they're all, without a single exception, there is nobody who has got the faintest capacity to make a joke. Mockery is central. Of course, one of the problems, Dan, is that nearly the whole of the so-called alternative comedians are absolutely on the side of the left, which is why they're so stupid that they actually think that, putting Thatcher and the F word into a sentence is wonderfully funny, or whatever Janie Goodley or whatever she was called, putting Trump and the C word into a sentence is apparently miraculously funny. And it isn't, of course. It's silly and it's childish. And I will speak ill of the dead in as far as she's concerned. But we've all got to play this game of being clever, of going
Yeah.
round, of hollowing the thing out from the inside.
No, I get that, but I just wanted to pick you up on something, though. You used
Yep.
the word corrupt. So, in your view, what is corrupt? Are you talking about the government? Are you talking about the judiciary? Are you talking about their relationship with the mainstream media, which has decided to not ask Starmer or Yvette Cooper a single question about what they knew when? What is specifically corrupt?
Corrupt is a word that has many different meanings, which is why you are quite rightly trying to tease them out. Clearly, this is a government which is corrupt in the most fundamental sense of the word. That is to say, it has received gifts and favors.
Mhm.
The astonishing performance of the kind of it's like wandering through Selfridges and picking out the nicest items. The performance that we've actually seen with the Labour Party and Lord Ali. And by the way, in the days when Private Eye was funny and before Ian Hislop became part of
And
the left-wing
destroyed it. Yeah.
establishment, Ali had a wonderful nickname in Private Eye. He's called Wahid, and he was always known as Lord Wahid Boy, as Lord Wide Boy. And he's a wide boy. He's actually a very nice man. Once upon a time, he tried to invest in me, and then his team decided that it was absolutely impossible to make any money out of me, which is absolutely fine. So he does throw his favors pretty widely. But they, of course, were caught out because they had been so utterly, infinitely hypocritical. Every single time the Tories had stepped even faintly out of line, immediately Starmer with his po-face comes in. Now, the point with Starmer is, of course, everybody thought when Starmer did that what he was a kind of upright morals. Starmer, in my view, has got no morality
Mhm.
whatever. Starmer is a man without any serious moral value. Let's
Totally.
get this right. His entire career is a lie. He lied to the Labour Party, he lied to his MPs, he lied to the nation, and he continues to lie. He finds it difficult opening his mouth without uttering a lie. That simply seems to me now to be absolutely demonstrated to be the case. Starmer, on the other hand, wouldn't see it like that because Starmer is a lawyer. And let me tell you what lawyers are. Lawyers are the small print at the end of a mobile phone contract. You know, the bit that you never read. They're the sort of people who read all of that. And what Starmer does, Starmer says, do you remember, I obeyed the rules because he claimed, and in fact it even turned out to be untrue in this case, that he had declared this stuff, therefore it was all right. And rather than producing a moral response to it when finally the pressures get overwhelming, he did this extraordinary thing. This is the Prime Minister, a man who really does have quite a lot to do. And especially when they're rather slow, as I suspect he is, it's probably really quite hard work, which is why often he looks so very drained and
Mm.
tired. What did he do? He went back through those receipts and he calculated how much he could say, now we've changed the rules. We changed the rules on this day. Therefore, everything that I received after that, I will repay. And he, with a little calculator there, and he came up that £6,000 out of the tens and tens of thousands had to be repaid. And you know what? He thought that actually wiped the slate clean. Do you see what I mean, Dan? There is
Yes.
something really very, very peculiar about this man. So what they think they're doing is following a set of rules, and if they do, it is okay.
This episode is brought to you by Manscaped, the global leader in men's lifestyle and grooming. Every man knows the unbeatable feeling of a fresh barbershop shave. Now, what if I told you that you no longer have to wait weeks or even months between appointments to experience it? I'm introducing Manscaped's latest release, the Chairman Pro package. The all-in-one set includes everything you need to recreate the luxury of a professional shave right at home. Whether you're after that daily silky smooth finish or prefer to maintain a rugged 5 o'clock shadow, the Chairman Pro package has you covered. First up, we have the star of the show, the electric foil shaver. This isn't just any shaver. It comes with 2 interchangeable skin-safe blade heads. You have the 4-blade foil for that close, smooth shave when you're looking to go absolutely clean. And you have the skin-safe stubble trimmer for when you want to keep a bit of a rugged look. Both heads are designed with skin-safe technology to help reduce razor burn and irritation so your skin feels smooth and comfortable after every shave, reducing redness or discomfort. A standout feature that truly differentiates the Chairman Pro from the rest is Flex Adjust technology. This innovative tech ensures a superior shave by allowing both blades and the pivoting head to seamlessly adapt to the unique contours of your face and is gentle on the neck area, helping you maintain great contact with your skin at every angle. And the Chairman Pro is waterproof, so you can use it right in the shower. It simplifies the cleanup too, just a quick rinse under the sink and you're all set. It isn't just for daily shaves either. It is powerful enough to tackle up to 5-day growth, making it perfect whether you're shaving every day or just tidying up after a few days. With up to 75 minutes of runtime on a single charge, you won't have to worry about running out of juice mid-shave. It also comes with a travel lock to help keep it from accidentally powering on during travel. But that's not all. The package also includes the Power Shave Gel to get the ultimate wet shave experience. It's packed with skin-soothing ingredients that defend against redness and irritation. And to finish off, we've got the Face Shave Soother, and aftershave serum is a game changer. So you can get the Chairman Pro package today and experience a shave that is as smooth as you deserve. Head over to manscaped.com and join the over 11 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by using the code OUTSPOKEN for 20% off and free shipping. That's www.manscaped.com using the code Outspoken. Stay on top of your grooming game and be ready for anything the season throws your way.
The big point that I'm making is the rules have been changed to exclude you, me, and everybody else. That is what is so terrible. That we the structures that we have had for centuries of fairly open, not absolutely, no, with official secrets acts and everything else, but of essentially open government, and above all, of a place where, as it were, things that you really didn't want to be exposed could be exposed. That's what parliamentary privilege is about. What the privilege that was denied by the Speaker. That is the moment at which MPs are protected, or should be protected, against all the normal applications of law. That is to say, that is the moment at which you cut through. And it is again what is the reason is Parliament used to be, before Blair, before the Supreme Court, Parliament used to be the High Court. It used to be the final point at which everybody, however powerful they were, could be held to account. This has been deliberately destroyed as much as possible. The only chance, in other words, all the things you're talking about are true, but they're the fragments.
Mm-hmm.
What we need to do, we need to see the big picture. We need to understand what has actually happened, so we're equipped to reverse it, and preferably to reverse it peacefully, if not, I fear, by other means. Otherwise, we really are lost.
Elon Musk predicts a civil war. Is that hyperbolic?
Well, what I'm trying to say is, it is when tensions build up between the minority and the majority, and particularly when you have a country which has very, very few military resources. Remember, what is peculiar again about Britain, we do not have an armed police
Mm-hmm.
force.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason we don't, it goes back to the wonderful Sir Robert Peel in the 1830s. There was an immense resistance to the creation of the police force, because in those days the English it's England, did genuinely believe in freedom and liberty, and there was a fear that having a police force was a kind of army of occupation. So you take the deliberate decision that the police were not to look military. And one of the things that's very alarming about especially the Metropolitan Police in recent years is they started to try to look a bit military. That it was the reason that the police were given their rather silly helmet. It was designed to look as least like any kind of military cap as it could possibly be. It was why they were not armed. In continental Europe, as we see, all police are armed as a matter of course. In America, all police are armed as a matter of course. Here we have this idea of policing by consent. But of course, that means you have a politics of consent. What has happened since 1997 is that idea of consent, of democratic consent, has been deliberately devalued down. And again, you see, all shows like this seem to me to be they're nibbling at the edges of it. There is actually a big central question. We should all be asking ourselves, for example, why you and me would not be allowed into polite company, and the elegant figures in the House of Lords would, be like Cardinal Wolsey with a scented orange held in front of their noses against the infection of what? These awful people called populists.
Yeah.
Why we got this funny new word called populism?
The snake oil of populism, Starmer referred to it after Southport.
Yes. What? So what was it again? I didn't catch it.
The snake oil of populism, he kept repeating.
Right. Okay. Yeah. You can sense the orange, can't you? You can sense the Cardinal Wolsey tweak of the nostrils. Right. Why have we had to invent this word called populism? It means just of the people.
Well, I'm
like
proud to
democracy.
be a populist.
Well, it's the Latin rather than the Greek. It's from the Latin populus rather than from the Greek demos. Why we had to invent it? Because you know what, Daniel, at one time, democracy meant of the people. Democracy smelt of the common folk. Democracy was the kind of thing that you held up an orange to your nose about. What's happened is people like Bingham, people like Starmer, who remember is a human rights lawyer too, they've redefined democracy.
Hmm.
Democracy is no longer about majority rule. Democracy is about the protection of the rights of minorities and this thing called the rule of the rule
Yeah,
of
yeah.
law. And what it means, of course, is the rule of lawyers. And it is now actually hard baked into our politics. The Supreme Court essentially regards itself as being above Parliament. That's exactly what happened when the Miller case, the legality of Parliament's the prorogation of Parliament by Boris Johnson took place. This is absolutely shocking. Remember, people talk about the separation of powers. In other words, what they really mean is the government shouldn't intervene in the judiciary, right? I would put it the other way around as well. The judiciary shouldn't intervene in government. And the last time we had a breakdown, a violent breakdown of our politics in 1689, the Glorious Revolution, one of the things that happened was that careful demarcation between politics and the law. Because do you know what James II, the man who's driven from the throne, had been doing? He'd been using the law to enforce his own policies against Parliament and against the law of the land. And he'd been using what? He'd been using a compliant judge, Judge Jeffreys, to do it. And I'm afraid what happened after 1689 was that Judge Jeffreys was executed. I think our judiciary really do need to think about what they're doing. I am not calling for it. I am pointing out what happens if the law trespasses into politics. Because we now have, again, can we all understand this? Lawyers now, judges, what do? Judges now, bizarrely, decide our actual extractive fuel policy, our extractive industries policy. Judges decide whether we can frack or not, or
Hmm.
whether we can extract oil or not. This is
Yeah.
demented.
And
Judges now decide labor rates. And this is why we're bankrupting Birmingham and why we are
yeah.
about to bankrupt next. In other words, what's happened is there's been a huge, grotesque overreach within our politics. Everybody needs to understand this. People need to inform themselves about it, and they need to vote accordingly.
Thank you so much for watching Dan Wootton Outspoken. Please click on my face just to the bottom left to subscribe to this brand new independent news source and turn on the notification bell so you'll be alerted to our brand new live shows, uncancelled interviews, and special royal episodes. Outspoken is also now available as a podcast, so you can listen to the show every weekday on the go, wherever you are.